Farm, where it is, of course, Scary Farm season as we're recording this, just about 48 hours away from the start of Scary Farm. And we've not really done any of the build videos, the decor videos that we try to do. So we thought, like, let's do one here at the just about deadline here. There is the employee preview going on tonight, so things are pretty well decorated. And it is fun to kind of see things coming together there. This guy is fun, just peeking out, hanging out in the graveyard here amongst the front of the park. So definitely a must check. Hello there, Mystic Traveler. Definitely spooky. Yeah, love this guy. What a great smile. All right, so the entry statement. Been loving this for the last several years, seeing these guys. Fantastic way to enter the park, of course. And it is one of the newest additions. So it's a tough time of day with the sun. It's actually quite hot today for those that are maybe not in the area. Excited for tomorrow night, Tiffany. Awesome. You have a great time. But yeah, as they're going to be previewing things here tonight, a lot of stuff ready to go. And we're going to take you for a loop around and show you some of the decor, some of the build stuff. With Knott, obviously, unlike Universal, where so many of the things return, I think a lot of the fun of Knott is kind of like the familiarity and seeing it, seeing things return. And so a lot of familiar faces. I know we hear that a lot of times when we do these types of videos for Comic-Con stuff, it's like seeing old friends or something. But here with all of the various skeletons about and returning mazes and stuff, it's a lot of familiar looks to them here. But we'll make our way up to Ghost Town, peek in on some of the peek ends. Check out the latest from the Into the Fog art show and just kind of make our way around and see what we can see here. So Thursday night is when it kicks off officially right here. Opening moment. They have added this year a cauldron up top here at Little Spurs. So I'd imagine possibly that's where the witch is going to be, but also there still is a staging area that's been constructed over here. So I think when we first saw the cauldron, we thought, well, maybe they're not going to use that part there and they'll only use Little Spurs. But it looks like maybe both sections are going to be part of that opening moment. We'll see. So these first couple peek-ins just got like the spider in there and stuff, but no figures. We do have figures as we come down a little bit. Yeah, obviously the pumpkins being added here into Ghost Town as well. This one, no scary touches yet, but as we get to the sheriff's office, we definitely do. So as we make our way over here. So the Prestige Lounge, for anybody that is a Prestige Pass holder, they have roped off this area because the buffet has moved in. And so if you have a Prestige Pass, the lounge is 3/4 of the way gone, which is consistent with last year. It also has reduced hours on Scary Farm nights. So reduced room, reduced capacity. But with all the fog of the night, definitely more of a spooky farm thing, but still a fun little addition for daytime from the Scary Farm nods. No additions to the post office yet. I mean, there's the webbing, but not any figures or anything like that. We do have one of the skeletons over here hanging out with the catawampus. And then over here, in the cabin, they've changed it up a little bit with the look. So we've got the cauldron on the stove there. And then here we have a bride. with the head, and then the haunted chair, the ghoulie doll over there. What's on the menu for the buffet? Well, they have actually a pretty eclectic grouping of foods there. Chicken is, I think, for a lot of people, a favorite at the spot, but also prime rib, the pastas, the rices, the salads. I just really like the deviled eggs that they do as well. The desserts are really great, the brownies and stuff like that. Barry was bad, so I guess that's Barry hanging up there in the corner of the toy shop. This fun haunted toy shop. Have your tickets for the buffet on September 25th. We love the buffet. That's like our oldest tradition. We went to the buffet our very first time at Knott's Scary Farm and absolutely love it. Not specifically Scary Farm, but it's tough to walk by this spot and not check out this fun spot. I don't know if many people that love Halloween can pass that one up at any time of the year. So obviously Boot Hill Undertaker set up there. Birdcage Theater for Conjured. Okay, we're gonna head up here past Origins. I mean, there's a bunch more skeletons over there and stuff. Yeah, so our first Scary Farm was 1997. And we did do the pre-scare dinner. That was back when it was across the street over near Soak City. And we just thought it was the best thing ever. Like the idea of coming early, getting dinner, hanging out. Then when they moved it from across the street, we thought it was the worst thing. And now we're totally used to it being over at Spurs. But yeah, it is a really fun part of the event, I think. Everybody we go with seems to enjoy it. All right, so Origins getting another year, and it seems to be getting another year after this. So it is definitely getting that all-star status. I know we love it. We did a really fun behind the scenes of it on our channel if you're interested, with Ted Doherty, who helped bring it to life. So if you're interested, it's about an hour long with him in the maze, and we go through and look at everything real close up and talk about its history there. Let's see, I missed a question there. Martin, are you attending the employee preview night? No, we are not. We are not attending employee night. We are just out checking it out. And then we're going to take tomorrow night off. And then we'll be back here for opening night tomorrow. I'm sorry, the day after tomorrow. And then lots of other Halloween stuff coming up this weekend as well. Be out at Delusion, trying to do Castle Dark. We've got Fright Fest, Dark Harbor, Hayride, all coming up here in the days and weeks ahead. All right, so Grimoire is getting one last year over here. And all of this for the lantern activation set up outside. We've got the spiders returning. And of course, lots of pumpkins as well. There's the backside of Origins. We have the big there. You know, we love that kind of near finale going down the cavern. This skeleton is not here yet. We'll see if it's there. See if they return. And this is like the one part of the park that, you know, every year in this modern era is a little light on anything. Sometimes it's the extended queue. Fourth curator, heard it might rain on Thursday. Hopefully not. Agree on both. Saw the same thing. I believe it was saying like it's kind of gone back and forth. But I think the last I looked, it said like 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. or something. But yeah, hoping not. Especially, I know it's not supposed to be as hot on Thursday. But yeah, hot rain is not our thing. That's like to leave that in Florida. Definitely not our thing. It's weird today that it heat up so much. I think it's about 95. And it just was like Obviously, it's always hot in September. Haunt season always starts out hot. Last year particularly was the hottest ever when we started with horror nights and stuff. But we had a couple nicer weeks, so I kind of got spoiled by it. So like showing up here at 95, it was like, what is going on here? So hopefully the rain, the heat is not too bad. Or hopefully the rain's non-existent on Thursday. We'll see about that. Hopefully the heat's not too bad as well. All right, here we have the entrance to Memory Lane, the Goring 20s. This has quickly become a fan favorite. It is tough to beat the fun of this zone. I mean, just the kind of hangout party scene is absolutely fantastic. Jeremy asked how many days you think about doing for Knott's Scary Farm. I think about it almost every day of the year, always wanting to go to Scary Farm. How many actual days we go? It actually is the thing we go to the most. We cover a lot of haunts. Last year we stopped in, this includes just like yard displays. We stopped in at 148 different places. So we go pretty much nonstop once the season starts, and it's already started here in SoCal. But of that then, we usually peel off somewhere around 8 or 9 days to come. We do have the pass, so it's really nice being able to come with it encapsulated in the pass and just hang out for a few hours. A lot of those visits are just for a few hours. Really, all of our trips to Scary Farm, outside of opening night being like media night, every other trip is either we're taking friends who are doing one thing for Halloween and it's going to Scary Farm, or it's like we're coming for like an hour and a half or 2 hours, just, you know, having to go home early to get ready for work the next day type of thing. I'll make a quick loop here. It's getting close to closing time, but real quick, the decor, and can see a little bit of the art show here. Into the Fog art show returning. We did put up an Instagram reel, a YouTube short, and a TikTok, so whatever your preference is, of as much of the artwork. I believe the Instagram and TikTok have every single piece of art. The reels, we had to cut it down some. But some really gorgeous pieces here. Love that this starts, you know, a good week early, so it's just a big dose of Scary Farm while we're waiting for the fog to roll in. Daniel Miller, designer of Devil's Den there, the joke, but obviously Waxworks and the zoo this year. Yeah, that is the plan. That is the plan, to do some live there. We actually picked up the small version of this Bride, the Lilith figure from Ryan Batchelor. Really great figure. It was $40 for the smaller version. Great comic art vibe for Carnival there. So much good stuff. So at this point, in addition to the art and some of the merchandise on display here, there is also Cordy's, the general store, all have tons of stuff. This is fun, the paint goblins for our behind the scenes friends. There's so much work that goes on at Knott's to make it look so great. It's fun having a piece of art that kind of acknowledges that. People that work overnight in the heat make it all happen. And Spooksy Boo, if you're not familiar, they run the Spooky Art Walk. They run a variety of little convention type shows, and they do artwork, Coraline and Strawberry Shortcake with Hot Topic, and they've got a Scary Farm piece this year, which is fun. All right, make our way. We'll go ahead and skip over Cordy's, but we'll show you just the windows real quick. I think for Knott's Scary Farm, it is tough to do everything in one day. I think 2 days is really reasonable. We do get everything done in one night on opening night normally, but it is rushed, and it is with us having the gift to front of the line, because they do that for media. Every other night we come out here, we get all the mazes done always in one night. When we do our Parks and Cons crew night that we do for our Patreon folks, we normally get all the mazes done in that one night. So I think, though, doing 2 nights definitely makes it a much easier pace for those that can. And the fountain all done up with the jack-o'-lanterns. It's a great photo op. And then the stage, so there is no show in the Walter Knott Theater this year. So I know that's something we missed, because it is something we really, going back to our beginning of Scary Farm, associate with the park, is going into the big theater and taking a break for a half hour and seeing Elvira or Ed Alonzo or whoever it might be over the years perform. But there won't be a show in there this year, so it'll be a little different. That said, there will be a show out here. Once again, the Carnival returns to the stage here. And so that is a fun show. Again, I'll miss it being the kind of different type of show that they've had, especially those that had like the big MC years in the theater. But it was just nice getting into a comfortable theater. So hoping that returns next year, but we will see. So Carnival has gotten quite a bit of decor in the last few days here. The Jack-in-the-Boxes have come out. The hanging monkeys are always one of my favorites, dangling above the boardwalk. Such a great scare zone. So many props to all of these scare actors across the board. But I do always think, like with Carnival, they have so much ground to cover and so few areas to hide, and it's all so bright. And they do such a great job of scaring and entertaining, and just love checking them out every year, watching the actors do their things. So we've also got the artwork, very much Mesmer inspired across. It has kind of the Carnival and Freaks type of vibes to it. We've got the monkeys, of course, the ticket booth there. There's the head of Medusa on that banner. We've got the escape artist off over here. There we've got Hang Time going up. Not Scary Farm specific, but definitely scary. There's a monkey while we watch the hang. Such a unique experience. And there it goes. Again, more monkeys up above here in the lighting. Jeremy asked, how was your day? It's been good. Work was long and difficult, but the Knott's part of it's been cool. Getting here in the last hour or so and seeing some new decor has been very cool. And then fourth curator, hopefully it's not too busy opening night. Still going to have a wonderful time. Totally with you, fourth curator. I as well hope it's not too busy. It will be interesting this year to see how busy the park is. Obviously, Horror Nights is having an epic year, really big IP, driving a massive marketing machine, and it is crazy. The express going, the early entry selling out, like it's just constant over there. And I don't know how many people like make choices between Horror Nights and Scary Farm, and obviously like we would never miss Scary Farm. We do them both. But I'm curious to see what the impact is there with them not having a show here this year, and then Horror Nights having all these IPs driving people. Curious. What props are new for Scary Farm? Not many. I mean, some of the placement of some of them is different. I haven't seen like a ton new. I mean, we'll show you. There's a couple new set pieces in the Gauntlet, which we'll go by over there. But most of what's been on display so far that we've seen, and some of this we're seeing for the first time ourselves, so we might see something right around the corner that you all identify or we identify as something new. But we got the Carnival balloons and basketball players over here hanging out. Mesmer right behind. We haven't been checking in on, didn't seem like much of a reason to with it being a returner. This year, the two new mazes are over in the back area by Ghost Rider there. And so not ones that we've been keeping track of in the park as much. I mean, of course, we check them out as we walk in over by the hotel or something, but it's a little different type of year. That said, for those doing the buffet, it is a really nice year because you will have access to the two new mazes immediately, as well as the two mazes that were from the previous year. So it's a really good couple years here for buffet ticket holders to get those mazes done early. All right, there we go. Cinema Slasher. Looking awesome. Love the ticket booth. Love all of that. Yep, and Ghost Rider, good point. Ghost Rider accessible during that bonus time as well. We really love having that access that comes with the buffet. It's fun to get a jump start on things there and then get moving over to the other mazes as the general public's coming in to do that part. Which is the maze that has only flashlights. There is no maze like that this year. You might be thinking of Trick or Treat when they did the flashlight version, but there is nothing like that. Now, the zoo is a new maze for this year, a Daniel Miller maze. And that maze is going to have a lights out version at 11 p.m. each night. So 11 p.m. they'll go to the lights out, and then they will have some new surprises as that part. So that'll be really interesting to see how that works because, we'll see how people like it. It really depends. Lights out mazes are always tough. In our experience, lights out mazes are usually not a lot of fun. It doesn't mean this won't be fun. This may be the most fun maze in Knott's Scary Farm history, but a lot of times they rely heavily on just the darkness and don't have as much. Now, we'll see what sort of technology is a part of that as well and how they pull it off. So very curious about it. It's a neat idea for sure to get some extra interest there. Do you think, Jeremy asked, do you think Bloody Mary will be really gory? I would imagine so. I would imagine it will be quite gory. It's interesting on that one because from Nightmares Revealed, they had the character kind of meet and greet thing in front of the facade. And it was surprising because it was a very small facade, especially coming off of Waxworks, having such a tall, kind of imposing facade for so many years. So it kind of was underwhelming to me to just kind of walk up to and see. That said, I'm very interested in what they do with it. And I do think it was a really smart idea in terms of the marketing side, because I have come across several people in my life away from theme park things that don't do haunts or Halloween stuff very often who have asked me about it because they're familiar with the kind of legend, the folklore around the character. And I thought that's pretty smart because it's like they've got themselves an IP without having to, pay Terrifier money or something like that. So it's an interesting idea. I'm really curious how they execute it. Very curious about both mazes. Would imagine there'll be some mirror effects that will be in play with the Mary maze as well. And so it'll be interesting to see how that all comes together. I know I was definitely surprised by the two themes that they went with. Neither of them were kind of on my radar, and so I am always interested when there's stuff that's kind of surprising, and very curious to see them on Thursday. All right, so as we come into Camp Snoopy, we've got the mix of Spooky Farm stuff. Spooky Farm begins on Thursday, the week after Scary Farm. And it runs Thursdays through Sunday, as well as Columbus Day. Bob Baker Marionette Show coming back. That's really fantastic. A little bit of trick-or-treating for the little ones. Of course, the characters out in their Halloween costumes, things like that. Now, over here in the Gauntlet, year one, they had so few set pieces to work with. It was really impressive what the actors were able to do with very, very few play sets. I always feel like it's kind of like play sets and action figures, right? But this year they've got the most to work with that we've seen. I mean, addition to this signage, of course, you've got the stage returning, the jail, but they definitely have more of kind of the backdrops and things, hiding spots. It also appears, and I could be wrong on this, it appears like there may be a few more fog machines in the area as well. So curious if that's going to be the case, if they're able to fog it up a little more over here. Obviously, a good dose of fog can work just as well as a set piece for camouflage and a place for the actors to work off of. So if you've not spent much time in the Gauntlet before, it's definitely an area worth hanging out in and seeing. The slider shows and just the way they really do kind of tell a story between the various characters. It's not just quick scares. Of course, they do that as well. And then they do a good job also of having the daytime fun. Like, I mean, this guy looks great. This whole setup, won't notice it during Scary Farm, but it's still a nice piece there for the daytime stuff that's going on. All right. Oh yeah, here's another one of the castle mounts. It's a nice piece there. We had some really good interactions with some of the actors sitting right over here without this set piece there the last couple of years. So this is one of those spots, and really there's no place in Knott Scary Farm that doesn't work for this, but it's just fun to watch the actors do their work. Such a talented group making their way around. All right, would love to see a little ghost train going on here, but unfortunately no ghost train going on here. It would obviously have terrible capacity, but I've always loved the idea of a ghost train in Knott Scary Farm. All right, there are a couple of set pieces. Here's one of them here. And then we have another up over here. So this will be near the exit of Chilling Chambers. This will be interesting to see if they're able to use this area for a bit more scaring this year. I think this area itself, this new grassy area, it's been a little odd for, I think, Scary Farm purposes. I mean, they've used it for Q, but they haven't been able to do too much with it. I'd love to see them use someday the little houses back here for something as well. The stage area. Miss the blood drums or some sort of performance type like that. Stuff there. All right, and then we will circle back up here, take a little bit of a look. Oh wait, we do have one of the windows done over here. There we go. They've moved the costumed Peanuts characters across the street over at Peanuts HQ. And they've used a little bit of a different theming there in this store. All right, so we have another one of the lantern activations over here. And this one's been up for a few weeks. They had it open for Nightmares Revealed. It's nice to see it return, of course. And it is also kind of a nice entry statement to go along with Forsaken Lake for those traveling this way. I think it kind of draws some people over and feeds them along this route. And go a little nod to Jeff Shattuck and the team with all their work there. You've got Shattuck spelled backwards on that tomb. This character's fun, like the eyes kind of feel like they follow you. All that. And then we'll kind of bend back around here, but there are these set pieces to go along with Forsaken Lake. As you make the right up there, it looks pretty much the same as years past. Very, very similar. I don't know if there's actually any difference in how those are placed. But as we cut around here, we'll take a look. We're able to get a look earlier at Wagon Camp and at the Hanging. And it looks like they've got a few fun set pieces out there. So we'll cut around this side. It looks like they blocked off this angle. So we'll see if we can show you the other angle. Love these pole goals, and you can see the lanterns lit up with that kind of eerie blue. Is a fun look for it, particularly at night. But yeah, so it appears that the Hanging, of course poking fun at everything and anything and everything. It looks like they may have their own kind of take on the portals from Epic Universe going on in there. So we'll see what they do with that. It's always interesting to see what they lampoon as they look at theme parks, pop culture, and everything else that they can make fun of in their parody show here. It's interesting. The park's been a lot busier today. I mean, we've only been here for this last hour and a half or whatever, but busier this last hour and a half than I would expect for as hot as it is, and on a weekday. So might be a lot of employees getting ready for the preview tonight. Not sure, but just busier than we have normally experienced when you combine the 6 p.m. close time with the heat midweek. So. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, it is open over here, so we can give you a look at the Hanging. There we go. Yep. So it looks kind of like the portals. Looks like we got same shit, different day going on there. A little crash spot in the middle, and definitely Minecraft being worked on and other things out there as well. So it'd be fun. It's always interesting, fun to see what they do with their take on pop culture and poking fun at things. I think, especially with there not being a show in the theater this year, it's going to come up even bigger because there's going to be a whole lot less area to take in for entertainment this year. All right, so now we are going to bend our way out of the park. The park has officially closed at 6 o'clock. So we'll take you out and give you a quick look at some of the marketplace area there. There's been some additions out that way, and share that with you as well. You can see, I don't think we talked about it, but all of the bunting at the front. They've got the turnstiles all covered up above. They've got the Scary Farm signage out. But obviously in the end, for those that tuned in late, you can scrub back and check out the skeletons, because those are definitely the highlights. Them and that little creeper hanging out over there. Oh, you're welcome, Mr. Traveler. Thank you for hanging out. We know this was very short notice. A goal is to do these types of things much more regularly, like we do with Comic-Con. We do once a week things, but it just falls at a time of year that we have a lot more time to do it. And we are just on the run right now with the evenings, but we'd love to do more of these. So we've got our Scary Farm banners up there. We'll make our way up here, show you a little bit of the window. So now at the back of Virginia's, they seem to be working to convert a section of it over for Scary Farm. It's this back area is all curtained off. So you can see they've closed off this walkway here. They've got employees lining up. They're gonna have a fantastic time tonight checking out the mazes, seeing some scares. But yeah, so this area is all closed off as they're getting it ready for Scary Farm, it appears. The rest of the store is kind of normal berry mode and boysenberry and all that. All right, so over here we have the crashed little boat. Got some hands hanging out and feet, some crows, ravens. Then we continue over here with this duo hanging out. They're not Scary Farm related, but I don't know that they get enough exposure to have this kind of very slight animatronics, but it's fun that they're just kind of hanging out in a window over here. And that this duo, a few more skeletons. Do love that with Knotts in the recent years, they just go all out in the marketplace too. So even those that maybe they're just bringing the kids in the middle of the week and they're not able to do Scary Farm, are able to get some Halloween vibes in. Windows, decorate, all that. Yeah, looking inside the store here, it is all no Scary Farm stuff up there yet. So that is still to come. See the line for employees bending back here. We're not getting in that because we're not allowed to, but take you down here to the back side of Mary, and then also Zoo from across the way. If you do come out across the way, definitely check out the Peanuts characters there. It's fun seeing them in their little Halloween costumes. And then TGIF remains closed. I actually thought that was going to maybe become some sort of player during Halloween season, and maybe it still will for Scary Farm. It seems like a place that could be utilized potentially for buffet seating, to expand it if need be. But as of this recording, at least, have not heard anything on that front. So we'll see if anything more comes of it. Some more skeletal delights there. No Halloween desserts out yet. So soon we'll be seeing those cupcakes and brownies and whatnot, but not quite yet. No changes to the berry market. We do have the windows at the candy parlor done though. So as we make our way past here, just family friendly, fun stuff, not really scary, more spooky farm vibes. And then, of course, we have this fantastic tribute store, the Legacy Store. If coming out for the Legacy Store, make sure to be aware the hours are limited. If you're coming out during Scary Farm, you can check it out from the other side, from in the park, right next to the Merry Maze. You can enter. Otherwise, during normal operating hours, they are, for example, closed right now. But they are open on a lot of these days. Now here we're at the back of Mary. Don't hear any sound testing today, but they have been, obviously they've been working a lot on the maze in these final days leading up. But that is the backside of Mary. Not much to see there and nothing to hear today at least. But if you find yourself roaming around in the next day or two, you might hear some interesting sounds if you make your way to the backside there. I know we have. And then just about to the zoo, see the Not Scary Farm bag policy. Guess I should just go by that real quick for anybody that is interested. Make sure to know, very, very serious about their bag policy here. So do note that. But yeah, on this back side then, the queues are set up. They're walled off, so can't really, well, particularly with the sun right now, but it's walled off, so can't really see into the zoo quite yet there. So, and that brings us through a full tour, almost, of Not Scary Farm is where it stands here with 2 days to go. So hoping everybody that's going has a great time. We'll definitely be back with more Scary Farm stuff on opening night. And throughout the season, we'll visit many times, but we'll also visit over 100 other haunts. So if you're interested in Halloween stuff, you can follow along with us. We podcast a lot on Halloween, so you can find us that way. And our social media, we're pretty much on every platform at Parks and Cons. So thanks for hanging out a bit here on Tuesday night. Happy Halloween season to everybody. Hope you have a fantastic Scary Farm.